Tsunami waves set off across the Pacific after one of the strongest earthquakes in modern history struck Russia's remote far eastern coast. The 8.8 magnitude quake off the coast of Kamchatka Peninsula damaged buildings and injured people in its main city, some 136 kilometers from the epicenter. But the Regional Health Ministry has not received reports of any serious harm done. Coastal Pacific regions bearing the brunt of the quake's impact. Russia's main town of the Kuril Islands and Severokurilsk experienced tsunami waves as high as 6 meters. Drone footage showing its entire coastline fully submerged, boats ripped from their moorings, and taller buildings surrounded by water. The tsunami waves reached Japan, Hawaii, California, and parts of U.S. shores. Nearly 2 million people in Japan told to get to safety, and waves of up to 1.3 meters were sighted along its Pacific coast. Japanese authorities have since downgraded their tsunami alerts, but cautioned people to exercise care, as the threat could remain for at least one more day. Hawaii, too, lowered its alert level after data showed that no major tsunami is expected to strike the island. Waves had reached up to 1.5 meters high. Residents have since been allowed to return home based on county assessments. But other parts of the Pacific are still on alert. French Polynesia's Marquesas Islands archipelago is bracing for waves of up to 4 meters high. Chile's entire coastline is under a tsunami threat, while Ecuador's Galapagos Islands may experience a tsunami of up to 1.4 meters. And for more, Michiyo Ishida joins us live from Tokyo alongside Dasha Chernyshova, live from Moscow. Now, Michiyo, let's start with you and what's happening in Japan now. Authorities have downgraded alert levels for the whole country. So what does this mean for those who were told to evacuate earlier?
Well, as you say, Angela, tsunami warning has been downgraded. First to an advisory for the Kanto region and south of Kanto, which includes Tokyo. And then just before 9 p.m. local time, it's been revised down for the rest of Japan. But an advisory means there's still a possibility of tsunami of up to 1 meter. The meteorological agency said it's the time of the day when sea levels rise regardless of the tsunami, and that raises the risk of higher tsunamis, so the advisory needs to be in place. The meteorological agency continues to call to the public to evacuate from coastal areas, from near rivers, and those who have evacuated to remain where they are. Warnings from authorities are not easily lifted given the experience of the devastating tsunamis of March 11, 2011, which took the lives of thousands of people.
Now, Michiyo, what kind of damage have we seen from the tsunami so far?
Well, we have seen footage of ports being flooded. The highest tsunami recorded so far, 1.3 meters in Iwate's Kuji port. Tsunamis continue to hit the coastal areas. And as I said, authorities are calling for people to keep away from the coastal area, to evacuate to higher ground. So damage in and near the coastal areas cannot be assessed yet. But based on past tsunamis, of, for instance, 30 to 40 centimeters, which may sound small, they can damage oyster farms, for instance, which are important for the Tohoku region. And we do know there was a woman who died when she was evacuating. Her car fell off a cliff, and there are reports of many people suffering and treated from heat strokes. Temperature today was ridiculously high in some parts of Japan. Tamba in Hyogo Prefecture hit a high of 41.2 degrees, the highest ever recorded in Japan. At any rate, advisory remain in place, and at most up to 2 million people in 21 prefectures have been issued evacuation warning, according to the Internal Affairs Ministry.
Right. Now, Dasha, let's go over to you now. What can you share with us about the extent of damage seen where you are now?
Well, obviously, Russia's Far East has been hit a lot, but major damage has not been done to any of those areas. We are, however, seeing some of the pictures on social media with shops in the Korea Islands actually being turned upside down with the shelves, everything that has been inside being flooded. That is because of the tsunami that followed that powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake, and there have been several waves. The city of Severokurilsk has been partially flooded. We are now also hearing about the fishing enterprise. They are being flooded, and people are being asked to stay on the high ground because that could save their lives. In the Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, where there have been many traffic jams with people trying to leave the city, and now what we are seeing is the aftershocks of those after that earthquake, and seismologists are saying that aftershocks with the magnitude of up to 7.5 could actually last for a month. So we know that even though there's been no major damage done, and the Kremlin has actually commented on that, saying that it was good that the constructions have been all in accordance with the guidelines for those areas, and the region has definitely managed to prevent any more damage. We still know that the rescuers have a lot of work to do to normalize the life of the residents.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Dasha, how has the government responded to the situation, whether it's with regard to the flooding or also the aftershock situation?
Well, we know that they have many teams that have been dispatched that are on high alert. The medics are working relentlessly. The rescuers are working relentlessly. People are being advised to be in safety. And the big picture is that even though this earthquake has been gone, the danger is still there. We also hearing the Russian authorities providing some information as to when they are going to restore the normalcy in the area. And they say it will take a week at least to make the full assessment of the damage done to that area. But all in all, the understanding is that the region has managed to weather this disaster quite well. And the local authorities are now to train more to prepare for more earthquakes should they be coming.
Right. Dasha, Michiyo, thank you so much for those updates. That was CNA's Michiyo Ishida reporting live in Tokyo, and Dasha Chernyshova live in Moscow.